Hi, I'm Dr. Margreet Wibbeling, midwife specialist and your host of the Birth and Baby show, brought to you by Sister Lillian Center and Sensitive Midwifery. We empower moms and midwives to have the best birthing and parenting experience through natural, physiological, and intuitive care, resulting in birth and baby advice you can trust. This episode is sponsored by Zinplex, one of the market leaders for more than 2 decades. Zinplex provides quality and affordable products, and it's trusted by moms and midwives alike. Visit zinplex.co.za and get your hands on these products. Zinplex, a healthier way of life. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode for the Birth and Baby show. We are busy with a very exciting series. Let's talk about it. There are some of those topics that we rather don't talk about. But then we have awareness months, such as breast cancer awareness, and we do need to talk about it. So for this episode, I've got a beautiful woman that has been through breast cancer herself, and her name is Bronwyn Haslim. She's a beautiful woman, a wife, a mother of 2 and 1 on the way. She lives in Joburg with her husband Philip, and she loves God and she loves being a mom. So this is going to be an awesome story. Tune in. Hey Bron, it's so nice to have you here with me, and thank you for agreeing to do this quite sensitive topic interview with me. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's good to be here with you.
Yeah. So Bron, tell me a little bit more about yourself, or the audience rather, because I know you.
Okay, so I'm 38 years old. I'm a mom. First and foremost, I think that defines me. I have got 2 beautiful children and a 3rd one on the way in about a month's time. So I'm sitting here quite heavily pregnant, and and that in itself is an amazing story.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So you're mom of 3 and a wife of a beautiful man.
A wife of a beautiful man.
Yeah, I can't tell that you are 8 months pregnant, to be honest, the way you are sitting there.
You can't see.
You're hiding that baby somewhere very well.
Yeah, I'll show you.
It's there.
I'll show
Show
you.
us.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. No, it's there.
It's for real.
It's for real. Wow. Being pregnant is for real, hey? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, Ronan, we are busy with a series on Let's Talk About It. So it's discussing those topics that are not easy to talk about, but are very important. And specifically for Breastfeeding Awareness Month, we wanted to talk about breast cancer because it's breast cancer awareness. And for you, hearing that breast cancer awareness has got maybe much different, brings up a much different sensation or feeling than most women, right? Tell us a bit more about your story.
I think it's a beautiful combination because it's breastfeeding awareness, and in many ways it was because I was breastfeeding that I discovered the fact that I had cancer, and the early treatment and intervention was possible. So it was a blessing. My midwife at the time said that my baby breastfeeding actually saved my life because I was aware of what was going on. But I'm diving in before I give you background.
Sure.
Yeah, basically we had just had our first child. It was 6 years ago now, and she was born at Genesis with a lovely midwife.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just navigating the journey of parenting, and also just wrapping my mind around breastfeeding. And it was about 6 weeks where you may feel like you're getting into a groove, and understanding each other, you and your baby, and getting into a groove with breastfeeding. And I was just checking, it's a practice that you sort of become familiar with, is checking which side you last fed on. And I felt a lump, and it was on my right side. And I thought, wow, that's such an obvious lump. I wonder what that is, you know. And I was just aware of it. It seemed to just pop up out of nowhere. And I went to sleep that night, and I woke up in the morning. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I just had a gut feel to just go to the doctor. And I think so much to be grateful for, because there's so much changing in your breast when you're breastfeeding.
Yes.
And so I just went to the doctor, and then also just grateful for an amazing doctor who assessed me, and he said, look, it definitely could be a number of things. It's most likely a blocked duct or something, you know, because you're breastfeeding, there's so many things going on, but I just want to check it out, and let's just be sure and go for. So he sent me for tests and x-rays, and and that started us on a bit of a roller coaster, a ride of tests, doctors, appointments, and ended in a breast cancer diagnosis. So Hannah was 6 weeks old, and I was diagnosed with aggressive type of breast cancer, not hormone related at all. It's a triple negative breast cancer. So it was just a random occurrence, and I had just been lucky to find it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quite a story. What a story. So so you were breastfeeding at a time, and that's why you were aware for what was going on in your breast, and you just found something abnormal there. Yeah. So, and then Bronwyn, what was then the course of action for you? I mean, you hear that terrible diagnosis. What happened then?
Yeah, so I think to be honest, now I know this is a midwife series. I'm not just saying this because it's a midwife series. The first person we phoned was a midwife, because I thought, what do I do? How do I go from fully breastfeeding? Now I'd been given a few days, 2 or 3 days before they wanted to do a test where I couldn't be breastfeeding because I need to take some dye. And so we had to stop breastfeeding immediately, and our midwife walked that road with us, which was such a blessing, because you're clueless. First, you're first clueless about breastfeeding, and then how do you stop, and how do you do it well so that it's not uncomfortable, and how do you start bottle feeding? And so we had her support with that, which was wonderful, and we weren't given a lot of time. The type of cancer it was a very, the doctor, I won't forget this, she said it's got its running shoes on. So it was fast growing cancer, and so we had to move quickly, and we had to make certain decisions. We were given about a week of tests and then results, and then they immediately wanted to start chemo. It was within 10 days of finding out.
Wow.
So we were navigating a lot, and I think we just were so grateful for good doctors, for support. We had all the different grannies coming in trying to get Hannah to take a bottle, because that in itself is quite a hurdle or an obstacle, you know. And so it was quite a roller coaster. I think then we also were faced with the decision that, will you freeze eggs, or would you, if you would like to have more children on the other side of chemotherapy, you need to think about that, potentially harvesting eggs. And so there were just a lot of decisions to be made. And I think it was a bit of a roller coaster, but we started the journey. We did end up harvesting eggs, and then we started the chemotherapy probably 2 weeks later. And yeah, that was the beginning of the treatment. I had chemo. I had a very, very positive response to chemo. I love sharing my story because it's a story that's full of hope and healing for women who have faced a cancer diagnosis. And yeah, and even as we shared at the beginning, you know, the picture of me being pregnant right now, that's exciting. So so yeah, so we ended up harvesting eggs. We started the treatment. We went through chemo and had a positive response. The tumor started shrinking immediately. They still recommended surgery because they wanted to remove a margin from where the tumor had been to be sure that any affected tissue was out of there. And then they also did radiation post the surgery. Because of the type of cancer, they just weren't going to take any chances. And so we finished. It was about a year of treatment. We finished the end of 2017 with a what they would call a complete response, which means that the cancer had been completely eradicated. And yeah, so that was the end of 2017.
Yeah. Wow, what a journey. And then you just, you knew mom, already so many changes, navigating parenthood and a child, and then having that on top of it. But it sounded really like your story has got so many messages of hope and healing indeed, how you made it through all of that. That's incredible. And that's such an amazing response. Wow, that is incredible. Thanks for sharing that. It's awesome. And Bronwyn, I know that for breastfeeding awareness, I mean, not breastfeeding, I keep saying breastfeeding, breast cancer awareness, we need to make women aware that it is a cancer that can happen to anyone. You probably never in your life thought you would have this. No one think that will ever happen to you. So a word for women to be aware from your side.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing that stands out is just to trust your gut feel. And you know, I think that in general in medical situations and health situations, that we are the ones that know our body the best. And
absolutely.
And yeah, I think I've heard of many stories subsequently to mine where ladies have actually even gone to the doctor and the GP says, no, you're breastfeeding, don't worry about it. It's normal to have changes. And I'm just very grateful that my doctor was very, very proactive and careful. And I think, we would probably say, my husband and I, we owe a lot to good doctors, but sometimes doctors get it wrong as well. And so I think it's trust your gut feel and go for a second opinion if you need to. And then also just be aware of it. I think, as I say, it wasn't linked to my breastfeeding, but it was because of that awareness that I had of what my breasts were like, and then they changed. And so whether you're breastfeeding or not, just having that awareness and of any changes in your body.
Yeah, that's very good advice. And I love what you say, trust your gut feeling, because you know it's your body and you know when something is off. Yeah, that's amazing. And the story of hope, let's just focus on that, because you are mother of 3. One is still yet to be born, but how did that look for you, life after breast cancer?
So we had our daughter, and I was just so grateful. I stopped working. We did everything we could just for me to be at home with her, and just to make the most of the gift that I'd been given just in life, and seeing my daughter grow up. And and then we probably started talking about having more children when Hannah was maybe 2, and we had harvested eggs, so we had this option, and yet you can't guarantee it. I think for anyone that's been down that road, it's not a simple road. And then I actually fell pregnant, and I had a miscarriage, probably when my daughter was about 18 months old. And it surprised us, firstly, that I'd fallen pregnant after chemo and radiation and all of the above. The doctors were not sure. They'd said to us, look, it is very likely to impact your fertility. But I think that I was young enough. I was 32. And my body just, had sufficient healing to be able to actually carry a pregnancy. So I did have a miscarriage, and then we were just encouraged that we fell pregnant naturally, and so we waited, and we just continued to hope that that we could build our family. And then I think I had some scarring actually from the previous pregnancy, from the miscarriage. And that had actually been preventing me from falling pregnant. And once we established that, and we actually went for procedure just to clear out the scarring, I fell pregnant shortly after that, naturally.
Wow.
And so then we had my son, who is now 18 months old. And he was also born at Genesis, with the same midwife who had journeyed with us through stopping breastfeeding. And I love the fact that I can also share that she then journeyed with me to successfully breastfeed him with one breast. And
wow,
that makes me emotional, because it's just it was such a redemption. And so even after all the journey, I mean, you wouldn't think it's possible, but that we're grateful
amazing.
to her. And we're grateful for the opportunity that I actually got to breastfeed him again, because the first time it felt I was robbed from it,
Yeah.
And so then so he's 18 months old now. And I must say, I'm so grateful for the midwives, for the doctors, for everyone who's been a part of our journey. We have been so blessed by just supportive medical professionals.
Wow, thanks for sharing that. That's amazing. What a redemption story. It sounds like your story is also full of miracles to me. Right.
Definitely.
I mean, you hit the storm of life, and you just hold on for dear life and have to get through it. But just to see all the miracles on the way, like the right people, and then how your body heals and responds, that's amazing. Hey, so that's amazing. Wow. Anything else that's on your heart that you would like to share? I know this show is also, there's a lot of mummies that listen to it too, so it's for women in general.
I think for me, I think one of the things that I can reflect on from my journey is don't do it alone. Don't try and do it alone. Don't feel like you have to be a superhero. And if I look back on that journey, the reason we came through with such an amazing story is because of the people that were involved. And so I think even breastfeeding is not something that is a simple thing, and it's not something we have to just navigate and perfect on our own. And there's plenty of professional people who are well qualified to help you with that. And then if for some reason you have an issue and you have to stop breastfeeding, don't feel like, I think as women we often just feel we have to just come up with the solutions and to all the problems. But for me, we just definitely can be grateful for people who are experts in their field that helped us in different ways. Carol Ben is another one who was the breast surgeon, and she is an expert, anything related to the breast, not just cancer. And I think sometimes people don't know where to go, or if they have an issue but just reach out, research. If you've got any questions, again, I go back to just follow your gut feel.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice.
Yeah,
and carry on.
And I think just as moms, I think, I feel maybe also just to share, I just think we can be hard on ourselves, whether our breastfeeding is going well or it's not going well, or I think it's just important to have grace on yourself as a mom, and
So Ron, on that note that you said, like, don't do it alone, and you don't often know where to start, maybe someone that is listening to this is in the same journey, just discovered breast cancer or whatsoever, come out of it and are not doing so well with it. Would you be open to share your details? Can we share it in the post, in the show notes, that I can reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually love talking to people that are on a similar journey, and just speaking my hope into their situation, because it can be an incredibly overwhelming time. And I think also we just found through our journey really like good professionals. So I'd love to just pass on any information that I can, whether it be for people listening or for, all of us know someone that's affected by it somehow.
Exactly. And now you make me think of something. I wanted to come for a landing. How, for people that don't know what it is to have had breast cancer, how do we support women that's going through it? You had support. Any tips there?
I think one of the big things for me was when people hear cancer, it can be the response is shame, that's so hectic, or like a not so positive response. And what I found was so helpful was the friends that stood up and said, Bron, you're going to do this, you're going to get through this, you're going to have more children, you're going to, and so that encouragement. And sometimes we don't know what to say when people are going through pain and difficult things, but that's just an encouragement for me, is just to speak life and to speak hope into that person's life, because there's a lot of voices going on at that time. And then also practical support, meals. We had so many people helping just with babysitting. We had grannies doing night shift, and if you don't have grannies, then just reach out, and there's always people willing to help.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Speak life and bring your hands. We all have something to give. No, that's beautiful. Wonderful. I love your story, Bronwyn. It's such a radical story, and such a beautiful testimony. Thanks for being willing to share it. Really appreciate it, and I'm sure many people will be blessed by it and encouraged by it for whatever they go through life, right? Whether it's breast cancer or another diagnosis. Beautiful message. I will get your email address and details, and we'll put it in the show notes. So if anyone wants to get hold of Bronwyn, that's where you can find her. So Bron, thank you so much, and may your next birth go super well. One more month. Good luck with the last month.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for showing up and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. And thanks to everyone who's listening.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, please share this with a friend who will benefit from this. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever we release new videos like this on our channel. We'd love to stay in touch and keep you updated with all our latest content and resources to equip and empower you. So if you're a midwife or any type of birth and baby worker, go to sensitivemidwifery.co.za/free gift. If you're a mom, visit sisterlillian.co.za/free gift for more training and resources. That way we can keep you up to date when we release new episodes like this, plus a few other bonuses. You can also find the links I just mentioned in the show notes. Remember, you're making a big difference because you are shaping the future of humankind. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to journeying with you.